reach every bit of potential that we can. A great example of that today was Muhammad Ali Abdur Rahman. You guys wouldn't do this stat, but he had an assist every 36 minutes as a freshman, and he played a lot of minutes. It just was something. It wasn't that he was selfish. He just didn't see the floor like we've been trying to develop him to see the floor. So with the 10 assists right now, right, that gives him 30, I think, on the year. So it's one third through the season. That would give him 90. If he continued at that rate, that's like a huge step from going from 20 assists in major minutes, I think it was, to 90 assists. So that really helps us see what we can do as a team. We got to see it. I've been seeing a little bit in practice, but it's refreshing for us to see with all our guys. Our backcourt against a team that trapped us all night long. They never stopped trapping until the last second. Had 15 assists and no turnovers. So that backcourt is developing. They're getting some chemistry. I called our team a starting 7. When you got Duncan and Mark, former starters, are coming off the bench. We hopefully don't have too much drop off at that point. I thought X did some good things today. Ibby did some good things today. John did some good things today. It's not even close to where they're going to be, but we got to let the process take care of the rest of it.
Kevin, you want to start us off?
Coach, there's a stretch there. It seemed like kind of every basket was coming in transition. I know that's been a point of emphasis.
Yeah.
But was there something that Maryland Eastern Shore is doing that allowed?
No, it just the whole idea. First of all, you can't run if you don't get a stop. So while they're only a 40% shooting team, and they rely a lot on Andino, and I don't know how he made. I think he made 3, but how he got to those, he's an incredible shooter. I mean, he can play anywhere. He's an incredible shooter, and. We got stops and we got out and ran. DJ had an outlet pass that was like Mitch McGarry-like, where he caught it, his feet hit the ground, and he put a beautiful touch on the ball. So we picked it up that our guards were going back. We, as coaches here, we got all these coaches, and we hadn't picked up that Derek was going backwards if he didn't get the rebound. It was killing our break. So we're doing some drills right now to make sure that we're all busting out and flying. Nobody was busting out at all. Everybody was just looking for Derek. It was really slowing us down, so that's really helped.
Zach?
You touched on Muhammad getting that career high in assists. You mentioned that you had a discussion with him in the past week or so about becoming more of a distributor. What was the difference between previous games and what he did today?
Well, I just think he's got a whole nother level still of who he can be as a defender, right? We challenged him with Andino today. A lot of times we'll take a guy like that and put Derek Walton on him. But we wanted to challenge him. Muhammad has another level of play that we've been trying to get out of him. You can see these baby steps every day. But of seeing the floor, of just becoming a better basketball player. And I think we saw maybe a major step today would be the hope.
Chris?
Looked like you guys were communicating pretty well on defense, especially early, and then from what you see there.
Well, yeah, I mean, with Copeland, he's really a difficult matchup because they're going to set ball screens for him. Is he going to post Derek up? We were trying to do a couple different things, but I mean, we're not missing some of the action defensively that we were missing even 2 weeks ago. And it's, like I said, we watch a lot of film. It's been drilled into them. Sometimes it is the film that we are watching or the actions in practice are, they can be punitive sometimes if you don't get it done, right? They're running, they're doing something. I think they're finally realizing it's easier if I just talk. For a bunch of really quiet kids, it's a lot easier to just talk. And you be out in front of everything instead of being reactionary.
Brandon?
Hey, Coach. Towards the end of the first half, when you had both Mo and Mark in foul trouble, it looks like you went with Wilson there in the 5. So what's sort of the plan, say, if one of those two or both?
That's a good question, Brandon. So, we wanted to give John hasn't had the type of reps in practice that I didn't think he would withstand it, and I wanted to look at this thing to see where, when people are spreading us out late in the game, put one of those 7 starters in and just move DJ over to the 5-man if we need to. And now you can do a lot of things with that. So you may see it again. I think Mo and Mark are too valuable, and it might tire DJ out if he's got to play that and not his natural position. But it was the best way we could go in that. And the foul, Mo's second foul was one of those fouls that we saw last year. Just Mo can't do those things. So he's learned a good lesson again, and we hope we're better from that.
Josh?
Coach, 9-3 right now, one more game
Yeah.
left till conference play. You guys, you like where you're at right now? You like
Yeah, I
the
mean,
attendance?
we're at where we're at. I mean, that Virginia Tech game is in our crawl, but as I said, we might have lost to Texas because we would have been too full of ourselves if we played anything close to how we could play. Credit Virginia Tech now, but that was not a game that we just did not play with any grit in that game, and hopefully it doesn't come back to haunt us, that they're gonna have a great year. But, I mean, it is, I think even on a good day, we don't go to South Carolina, UCLA and win right now. Those are two tough, if you watch, who South Carolina was at the time with Thornwell, is it, and with UCLA, they're tough outs. But it would be, I'd rather be, have one more win and one less loss right now, but it happened, and the only recourse is it will make us better.
Andrew?
Hey, Coach, 28 assists on 34 made baskets. Doesn't seem like the ball is sticking nearly as
Yeah,
much as
it
it has
isn't,
been.
it isn't, and once again, they played into that, trying to turn us over by trapping a lot, and I think our two teams have traditionally been good passing if you do that. The higher the pressure, whatever, we can find guys, so that's why I was really happy with the way we saw the extra guy, but I think there's just this little chemistry forming right now that I can see it, that Duncan knows, I'm the hunter coming off the bench, and they were looking for him a little bit better. We got to do a better job with all of that, and looking at the big men as well.
Well, as far as him, was that a clerical snafu or something as far as him starting today?
Yeah, I got to ask how that happened. The scout coach puts in the book, and there's never been an issue with that. And somehow Jeff, who was the scout, checked the wrong box. I don't know. We don't know how it happened. We were surprised as everybody else, but he does have to start. So I don't think there was anything Freudian. There was nothing going on there. There was just he must have. Jeff doesn't like wearing glasses, and maybe he's got to wear glasses better.
Josh?
Just talking to DJ Wilson, you said big time play that what stands out is the physicality, and just looking at the freshmen.
Yeah.
How do you convey that message to them that this is a different ball game once you step into big time play?
Yeah, I mean, DJ learned that lesson.
Right.
When DJ was out for his freshman year, he got. I think it was the kid Hart right now at Villanova. I think it was him that went and just pinned that stuff and knocked him out of bounds. And they just get when it's time, okay, weight room time. It has a whole new meaning to them now. And so where I think that Axis has been more physical. Ibby still has a way to go there, and so does John. And John, we're throwing bounce passes to John. I don't know why we're throwing bounce passes to John. Just throw it up to the big fella. Put it in for us. But we got to get used to that. But like John was lifting weights before the game today. That's where we feel we just got to get some more out of him, get every day. And then tomorrow, those guys will they'll be here those young boys will be here for about 4 hours tomorrow. They're going to get some work in. They're going to go Monday again. They have no days off this week till Saturday. We're working.
One from John?
People say, what can you possibly get out of a game like this? And you just listed probably half a dozen things. It's safe to say that there's never a game you go into where you're not hammering on, points of emphasis.
It was when I talked with the team before the game, as we went through an hour walkthrough of everything that we could see today. We watched film for 40 minutes last night. We watched film for 15 minutes today. Before practice, we watched the film. We watched probably 60 minutes of film yesterday. I said, did it appear to any of you guys that Coach Beilein or the staff, thought this one was going to be easy? Right? We approached that game just like if we had a great team coming here into Christ, exact same approach. And we get better. Our shoot-around, our walkthrough makes us better. Even though we're just walking, because it's that one more time that Xavier or Johnny or Ibby see something, or Mo see something, and they say, okay, now I know what that guy's been talking about all year long. It's just that one more time in their learning curve.
Got time for a couple more, Jordan?
Coach, you said that you treated like a great team's coming in, but a lot of us kind of expect you to be blowing these teams out. How does it affect the players mentally when they come away with such a big margin for a win compared to if they were
You have to be careful of that. You have to be careful of that. But they went to Colorado State and lost by 12, and it was a fairly close game. They lost to George Washington by 4. George Washington's pretty good. So we approach it all the time, but no, they can be full of themselves. If you came to our practice the day after a win, you would realize that we celebrate the win, but there is no backing off in the way that we're gonna practice. Because really, we gotta beat really good teams, right, to be in the NCAA tournament again. We gotta beat really good teams. So there's a long way to go before we can beat really good teams. So they know the focus in practice. There's never a slippage there. That's probably a fault that I have, but there's never gonna be a slippage.
We'll close with that one.
Coach, what did you see in Derek Walton's performance that enabled him to have such a strong shooting game?
Well, he's got to look at the basket. When we came back from, I think he was the one affected by the trip to UCLA, because I did not like the way he just carried himself in the game against Central Arkansas. He was turning down shots. The ball was sticking like crazy. We talked hard about that in the last couple of weeks, but particularly since Central Arkansas. What a talented player he is. He scored 1,000 points. How many guys? And he missed 16 games. How many guys have scored 1,000 points and missed 16 games? And you're a really good player, and this team needs you to look at the basket. And that was the message.
Okay,
All right,
sir.
thanks, everyone.